Every experienced data analyst or data scientist understands that the question you get from the business, the analytical prompt, requires reinterpretation. You need to ensure you're answering the right question and then figure out how to answer it, then present it back. So the first step of any analytical exercise is to ensure we're answering the right question in the right way. That's what I'm doing here in sequiturs AI. I'm reasoning through the problem that was posed, figuring out how I would go about answering it. So once I've redefined the problem for myself, as I did in this argument, reinterpreted it, so I'm answering the right question, I'll go ahead and do the analysis. When I'm done with the analysis, I have to present it. And typically, I would do this in a PowerPoint presentation. And I might still make a PowerPoint presentation, but the prerequisite is to provide my reasoning, the context, the reasoning, the analytical steps, the analysis itself, and the takeaways. Here I am in my core analytical argument. I start the argument with the context that I generated in the previous step about what the problem setup is. I've embedded that as the first premise. And then I go from there to discuss the steps, what I did, and why, like you ordinarily would when discussing your analysis. And where necessary, where valuable, I append citations to link directly to my Tableau dashboard or Domo or Notion document, as I have here, for example, link to some analysis. Now this does turn the model on its head a little bit of what normally happens in analytical presentations. When you use PowerPoint, usually paste your graph or visualization and then you put 2 bullet points to support it and try to tie it into a narrative. Instead of having a graph that we have to fit into a narrative, in sequiturs AI, we lead with the reasoning always, and then we provide the analysis that was done to support and to show how it supports that reason. So in this way, I can clearly articulate the reasoning or what I did, the takeaway, and support it with the analysis, all the way down to my conclusion, the 1 or 2 important stats I'm trying to communicate for at least this first phase of the analysis. Now I can definitely go ahead and create a PowerPoint presentation pretty easily, given how I've laid out these reasons and steps of my analysis. But even more valuable, I can engage directly with my stakeholders right in sequiturs AI. They can go ahead and challenge any part of my analysis, ensure they're clear on what I did or to give me some correction, maybe something I didn't know about, as is the case here. Looking at the second part of my analysis and correcting the record with, maybe that I didn't get the right data. Also, we can communicate in the comments field and work on understanding or asking for more data. Finally, if we close out this phase of the analysis, we don't need to open up a new chapter. We can simply build on this actual argument. Let's say I go and do another round of analysis. Maybe someone has a question about seasonality. I can build off of the same exact analysis. Maybe I'll add, after researching seasonality, it appears that Q4 has the highest churn rates from month 1 to month 2. Okay. That would obviously have been after a new analysis, but now we can see that that's been appended here in the evolution of the analysis. So the argument started up here to reflect my initial analysis, and as I do subsequent phases of the analysis, as every single analysis has, instead of having to open up a new PowerPoint presentation and start from scratch with reiterating the story, I'm just adding it on to the existing analytical argument. Most valuable of all here is that I haven't centralized all of my analysis into a PowerPoint document that will inevitably be lost, and with it, the details and reasoning of this analysis. This is in sequiturs AI. This is a record of my analysis, not just of the results, but of the reasoning. Very important as we go forward and make decisions based on churn. And in a year or 2 years, I want to go back and reference what we did and why. Here in sequiturs AI, we have a record of our reasoning, our evidence, and our conclusions.